Hey everyone, J7Jace here, showing you all the possible ways you can learn Zodiark in Final Fantasy Tactics War of the Lions. In most cases, you can only learn it in one place, and that is on the 10th and final floor in Midlight's Deep or Deep Dungeon, in the one-time encounter versus Elidibus, but I'll show you all other possible ways. However, there are some requirements when learning this ability. Your character needs to be in the summoner job, and they need to survive it in order to learn it. Even though you have around a 90% chance of learning this ability, there is still that 10% chance you won't, so keep that in mind. There are several ways you can approach this fight, but I'll show you a team setup of 5 summoners where they can each learn it. It will require some time and preparation, but it's a near guarantee to handle all situations. First thing is that you want all characters to be in Summoner, have them equipped with Thief's Cap, Black Garb, and an item that will make you immune to poison and toad because of the boss's ability Poisonous Frog. So Japamala can be used, but ribbons will do the trick as well for the ladies if you want. Then for your reaction ability, Mana Shield and Mana Font for your movement ability. I also recommend having 97 Bravery on your characters so the chances of Mana Shield going off will drastically increase, although if you're unlucky like me, during the making of this video, I did manage to get hit twice despite the 97% chance. For at least 2 characters, make sure they have items and make sure they have Phoenix down and then an ability that can restore MP, so Ethers, High Ethers, and Elixirs. I'm aware that the monk's martial arts can also restore MP and revive units, but if you aren't on the same elevation, you'll be in trouble, so I prefer items. Elidibus can run out of MP, and if you are so unlucky not to learn Zodiark, this is a way to heal his magic points. We also want Phoenix Downs to revive the Byblos, and just in case Mana Shield doesn't go off, we can revive our party. Have one character with Arithmetics or Math skill as their secondary, and make sure all those abilities are learned along with Holy from the White Mage. Increase Faith for better results in damage. Just don't go past 94 or the character will leave forever unless it's Ramza. He or she is going to be your main source of damage. I honestly prefer a female so they can equip Tyner Rouge and Ribbon though. Lastly, I do recommend having higher HP, Arcane Defense, and being at level 99 as this will entice Elidibus to use Zodiark. If your HP is too low and you can get KO'd by his weaker summon, in most cases he will rather use his Midgar summon on the character. Here are the builds I'm using on all of my characters as well as their stats. When you have this set up, get ready to enter the 10th floor. The female with Tyner Rouge should get the first turn, so cast Holy to target all enemies with Arithmetics. You should have KO'd nearly all enemies or all of them. Your allies will be alive due to Mana Shield, and your guest Byblos should be KO'd or uncritical. But don't worry, that is why we have Phoenix Downs. Have 4 of your characters slowly make their way up to the boss, and have the 5th character, or the closest to Byblos, use a Phoenix Down to revive him, if he is dead. Don't bother healing him up, as he can ruin this with his abilities. Just leave him in critical status. This may take a while, but once you are close to Elidibus, he should be wanting to cast Zodiark. Go into your turn options to see that he is. Just note that only one character can learn this at a time, so once you get the prompt to learn Zodiark for that character, make sure you hit yes. This is going to take a while, but once all 5 of your characters learned it, finish Elidibus off with Arithmetics Holy. He has near 2700 HP, but be careful not to finish him off quickly before Zodiark is learned. Now if you want to teach Zodiark to your other characters, this can be a frustrating process that may not always work. You need to find an enemy summoner. You can find them in several places on the world map. The Siege Weald if you enter from Dorder, Dirtchill Falls from Fort Bessela, Beta Sandwastes from Brevenia, or Lake Pescos from Mount Germanus. In Midlight's Deep, the Crevasse, the Stair, the Catacombs, Oubliette, Switchback, Interstice, and Terminus can also have summoners. Just note in most of these places, encountering a summoner can be rather rare. For your party setup, you want at least 3 characters. Your designated summoner, make sure they have pretty solid HP, arcane defense, and mana shield and mana font. For your 2 other characters, one that can take out all enemies besides the enemy summoner, and give that character Arts of War with Magic Break learned. Have your 3rd character be a job with lower MA, and give them Summon Magic for their secondary. Before or while casting Zodiark, have your other character friend Magic, so it will hit for much weaker. You can also lower your Faith stat as well if you prefer. Hopefully the enemy summoner will survive and learn Zodiark. Pray to the RNG gods he or she will use it, and pray again that your summoner will learn it. What you can also do if you aren't using Zodiark is make sure the summoner survives and learns it, then you KO them and hope they turn into a crystal. And pray more for more RNG that the summoner will crystallize, and from that crystal have Zodiark. You can also learn it this way. These 2 methods can be highly frustrating and can take a lot of time, but they're indeed doable and very possible. Another way is by having one of your characters get charmed by an enemy thief, and then to have that charmed summoner cast Zodiark on your summoner that needs it learned. It's viable, but it's also another frustrating strategy that is time consuming or may not work in all cases. You can find thieves at Vovohome Windflats going from Lanalian Plateau, or in Midlight's Deep on the Crevasse, Hollow, Oubliette, and the Crossing. You will need a thief who is the opposite gender of your summoner for charm, and they also need to have Steelheart learned. To discourage them from attacking or using other steel abilities, you can have Safeguard on them and Shida Hadori, and make sure they only have Zodiark learned, as the enemy charmed unit may use other things. The last way to learn Zodiark is if you're on the War of the Lions PSP version through multiplayer. You can fight versus Elidibus yet again in the Rendezvous mission Brave Story in the 4th battle. This fight is much harder than the Midlight's Deep one because you can't use arithmetics and because of Kugelane. So I recommend Malidal or Grice here, as they can equip Ribbon and have powerful sword skills. Orlando and Balthier are also great choices in helping with these fights. Just KO everything else, have that summoner follow my setups, so be immune to Frog, Poison, have Mana Shield, Mana Font, and have slightly higher HP, so Elidibus will be more likely to cast Zodiark. Out of all these methods, I do like the first one best, as it's much easier to set up and learn Zodiark that way. However, with determination, persistence, and some luck, there are other ways to learn this summon. That's it for this one. I hope you all enjoyed it. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you all next time.